Let's face it, and we're talking about Nancy this morning. Let's just face political realities. There is no way the ranking member on the House Intel Committee was going to stand in the way of any procedure 6-9 months after 9/11 that might prevent another attack. There was no way Nancy Pelosi or any other Democrat was going to do it, and let's just admit that.
Well, and I think that was the political reality then. Speaker Pelosi will say, we understood we were giving them legal authority, not that they were actually going to do it. But again, this is where you can have a legitimate debate, and the president has said, if you want to have this debate, let's try to take it out of the partisan rancor, get some independent people who can look at this, who don't fall back into this kind of rearguard action, because a lot of these people who are saying, hey, we got valuable intelligence out of this, are of course the ones who authorized the policy in the first place. And the downside of them being wrong is everything that's happened to the United States, or what it would mean for the United States going forward. But if you're going to have a serious debate about how you treat prisoners and ultimately what works, that's the question.
Right.
What actually works, what doesn't work? So if there's a moral cost, even if it works, maybe you can have that debate whether it's worth it.
Right.
But did it actually work? And I've been reading through this material. Are we actually able to ascertain that? It's a little murky.
And there is a document that Dick Cheney once released.
Right.
In that document, it cites it chapter and verse, talks specifically about what was done, when it was done.
Right.
The information is there, how it led to arresting Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in Pakistan, how that led to this will all come out. But this is the learning point. I think we're at a learning moment here, Pat. And it is this, and I agree. The question, we can look back and talk about torture and be self-righteous about it. What we need to figure out is, in this new world, what is torture? What do we do? How long do we hold people? If we have a commission that says, then we know something bad's going to happen in the future. When it happens, how do we respond in a disciplined, focused, conservative way?
I think that's right. But look, we know what happened to these people. We know who did it. We know who authorized it. We know the deciders decided. People on the other side, I would say on the left, are coming to this saying, look, this is Nuremberg. We have crimes against humanity here. They've already decided in their hearts this is evil, wicked, and wrong. And when you have those things, the people that made the decision have to be prosecuted, because that is the right thing to do. In other words, they come to it with conclusions already, and this is what you're running into on the other side of Congress of the United States.
But the White House is not on board with that.
The White House wants it to go. They're pragmatic, utilitarian, totally.
People on the left, and I heard someone on TV yesterday just saying, as a matter of fact, that Dick Cheney has committed war crimes, and since Dick Cheney is guilty of war crimes, he needs to be tried in an international tribunal. That's their starting point.
That's exactly right. Knowing what they know, they say those, and Willow McCain will say that. That is torture. Torture is a war crime. People that commit war crimes are prosecuted.
So
that's it.
How does the White House back away from this, Dave?
How do you get Holder's a guy that's the
right. Look, I think that what's the crime involved here? Let's look at just the prosecution potential here. You have the Office of Legal Counsel, which is run by political appointees. These are lawyers, but they are political appointees. So the fact that they would have a particular ideological point of view legally is not surprising in the course of the Bush administration. What crime was committed? They were asked a very narrow question, which is, were these techniques illegal? Were they unconstitutional? They rendered judgment on the law, not on the morality, not on the effectiveness of the policy. I don't know where the crime would be. Were they authorizing torture? Again, that presumes that they thought it was torture.
Up to George Bush and Dick Cheney.
But here's the thing. Here's the argument on the left. They're saying, look, they connect it to the WMD argument to say, look, this was a crowd that argued the case stronger than the evidence was there. They took flexibility for a dire situation, used it to kind of fit an ideological mold, which was ultimately either wrong or dangerous for the country, for the image of the country long term, and for our overall enterprise, which was to reduce the number of terrorists in the world. I think that's the political argument.
But you read Krugman today, and you read our friend Gene Robinson today. They say these are crimes. They are crimes. I don't care what the lawyers said. People decided to commit crimes, maybe for high motives, but they have to be prosecuted. Now, this is the argument of the left.
Well, quite frankly, the lawyers did not commit any crime. I
don't think they did, Joe.
Judgment. You can't jail somebody for
the
their legal opinion.
So
you jail people for actions, and that would, of course, be the administration and those Republicans and Democrats in Congress.
And is Nancy Pelosi, if she knew about this, is she an accessory to what?
Here's another one.
Legally, she would be part of the conspiracy.
Another argument from the right: what if a successor administration to President Obama thought that using drones to have missile strikes into Pakistan was a war crime, which is what most people believe this administration is doing. We're not at war with Pakistan. It's a democratically elected country. What if Obama's successor believed that was a crime? Do they want them looking back?
And the next White House starts leaking photos of dead children and grandmothers without any arms or legs, the result of these heinous attacks, and they just start putting them out. They say, look, this is what Barack Obama did to the people of Pakistan. And suddenly, you've got the international community saying, President Obama committed war crimes, he must go to The Hague.
I will say this. I mean, I think this is just objectively is a very difficult issue on all of the merits of the case in terms of whether legally, morally, as a matter of policy. These are very difficult issues.
They are. And I agree with the president. If there is some way we can diffuse the emotion and have thoughtful, reasonable, responsible people to sit down and figure it out. What did we do right? What did we do wrong? Where do we go forward?
The positive law and the moral law are often in conflict, and I think that's exactly what you got here. The moral law says you got to do what you got to do to defend innocent human beings. Positive law says you can't do that.
Yeah, it's fascinating.